we go. Today I'm trying to bust one on the come. Turn me up my headphones, boss.
Hold on.
Y'all go to the STWF Facebook page. Y'all can hear what we're hearing right now. Remember, if y'all just watching through the gram, you really go to STWF Facebook page. Y'all gonna really get the whole experience. Hey. You really heard some you need. I know on the brain. Addicted to street life, not ready to change. You say you wanna be my wife. I say no, I'm a friend. But now that you're gone, it's either moving my mind. Older guy, he don't do the things I do. Getting high with the fellas, coming in after 2. You say that he's Mr. Right. And I'm Mr. Wrong. It's 4 o'clock in the morning, and I still ain't at home. You call yourself asleep, but you ain't no car no more. Pick up my clothes and back and key and tell me here for you. That's what you mean at this time, because you tired of the lies and the late night tears. Every face my worst fears came over the other day. Oh boy, you gotta quit dropping them fucking beats on.
Yes, sir. And we are back with episode 2 of the Hot Topic. This your dude, Uncle Leroy. Don't say the Leroy without the Junior. Yes, sir. I got my guy, Slaughter Dun got in the building.
If Slaughter doesn't got her, you ain't even gotta wonder. All your calls going to voicemail, she busy for the summer.
Oh, he come with his own hook line and everything.
Hey,
man.
that's how I got the name Slaughter Dun got a real talk from one of my verses.
Wow, okay.
That's where it come from. True story.
Oh, okay. Well, shit, we know by now everything you really be spitting be that true story, man.
Already.
So before we get this show started, man, how's your Tuesday going? It's Taco Tuesday here in Dallas, Texas.
Oh man, shit, it's Hot Topic Tuesday right here in the Ag Town, man. I'm really hey, when I tell you this, my man, this STWF studio experience, it started for me last night. Hit my man up and he like, we need a topic. And all this creative energy, all these ideas that I've never had nothing to do with, bam, I got something to do with. So my Hot Topic Tuesday started last night, man. I'm just excited about everything we're doing, the moves we're making. My man got people reaching out to us, man, wanting to rent the studio. We got producers and beat makers reaching out to us. Y'all, it's happening.
Facts.
It's all happening.
Facts.
So how your Tuesday been so far?
Hey man, shit has been good, man. Came into the studio, live from Arlington, STWF Studios in the building.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, definitely had to leave the family at home. But you know what I'm saying? It's been good. You know what I'm saying? Been good. Got me some breakfast. You know what I'm saying?
Already, what you eat?
Hey, I don't want to tell my fitness guy, you know what I'm saying? I felt bad. I had to do some push-ups and get on the bike at the house. But I had some grits. Had some French toast, and I had some pork sausage.
Yeah. Yeah, you just really ain't about shit when it comes to discipline. No, I almost had the same thing yesterday. That's funny. Cream of rice, if y'all don't know, I'm just getting hip to it. You can make cream of rice, kind of tastes like grits. I did put some butter on it. Had some sausage and some eggs. That was yesterday. And then I put a little honey and some jelly without sugar in it, but that was yesterday. Today I'm doing my intermittent fasting because last night, even though it was healthy, I could not stop eating. So after that, I do intermittent fasting. Caroline Kyle, what up?
Wow.
She kind of really pushed me into that intermittent thing. But let's get to the topic.
Right, man.
Let's drop it.
Yes, sir. You know what I'm saying? Like, for real, I've been trying to, I can't wait to get to this topic. We got a good topic, man. And shout out to everybody that participated in the group and on our personal page when we post this because, we get topics from everywhere and we want the interaction so we can include you on the show. And definitely for those that's on this live, if y'all want to join us, y'all can just click the link that's pinned to this video and y'all can join us. So if y'all had an experience, y'all want to say something, definitely click the link and y'all can join the stream. But what is today's topic?
Today's topic, would you rather love or be loved? And let me ask you this. Should I start with the little thing I wrote about love or should I do that at the end? How you feel about it?
Oh, man. Hey, I like how you came in with it.
Okay, well, I'm going to give y'all this. When I was writing last night on this topic, this came to me. Bear with me because I essentially read my own handwriting or something different. Love is powerful. It can pop up unexpectedly. It can leave without warning. Love can be beautiful. Love can also be dangerous, especially if it's unreciprocated love. There's nothing like unconditional love. Love can free you, or love can imprison you. The lack of love can make or break you. Love can move mountains. Love can provide shelter, or it can leave you totally vulnerable and exposed. Love can kill, or love can heal. Love can build a dam, or love can cause the levee to break. Love can give, or love can take. Love can help you sleep, or love can keep you awake. Love can keep you warm, or love can make you shake. Love can build or destroy. Love can give you the greatest pain and the sweetest joy. Love from Slaughter Dungada.
Yeah.
Love from Slaughter Dungada.
Love.
Oh, boy, they,
so many things I got.
They better be glad I can't sing. But ladies, for all those ladies that heard me say that, hey, keep it on the low, but DM a nigga. Hey, Melinda, I'm just playing.
Hey, look, hey,
man, I'm just playing, Melinda.
Pop up at the studio door, man.
Hey, I don't let Ivan influence me.
Nice. So, but that was very sentimental, man. Like, and that's like just so in time for Valentine's Day. But yeah, this was a good topic. So, love can leave a space, leave a void in your life. And so that goes to our topic, would you rather love or be loved?
Well, I actually got some comments from people on my Facebook page. I caught on last week. I'm still old school. I wrote mine down. I didn't do it off the phone because I'm using the phone. But I want to talk about one person's comment about whether wanting to be loved. And this is no other than Dr. Caroline Kyle. She said, I would rather love. Then you can love many, many, many. The more you love, the better you feel. That was Caroline's take on it.
Wow, that's pretty good. And one thing that that opened my eyes with this post was because it's like first you think, okay, hey, I got to learn how to love, but then you got to break your past, and you think that because I always was thinking like maybe it's I don't want to be loved because of a bad relationship. Maybe I was cheated on, or the person was cheated on, or I cheated on a person and caused this hurt, but it goes beyond that.
Absolutely.
And what'd you say?
Oh, nothing. It's like you were saying, love can cause a void, but it can also fill a void.
Yes.
It's like love is just like water. It does so many different things.
And and that's the difficult part. And shout out to Bobby because he said, one thing with him learning how to love, he had to love himself because he had a childhood event, whereas he was he found out that he was adopted.
Wow. And,
and his parents didn't tell him until he was, practically a teenager. And the way they told him was very, in a volatile manner. So that tore him apart as a kid. So, at that point going forward, it was like, okay, hey, he doesn't want to be loved, because of this void. He doesn't know how to love. So how would you think that a person or suggest or, someone feel that void to be loved? If they got a childhood trauma to where it's something like that with their parents and they no longer want to love.
That's something that Bobby said, right?
Yes.
That you first have to love yourself. That's something that I totally overlooked. When you do love yourself, it's easy to love. If you hate yourself, it's easy to hate. It's like, people that are always criticizing and tearing people down, they're letting out their own insecurities. So I think that was very powerful that he had to learn how to love himself first. And as far as how do you learn to love, love is something that happens. Love is something that literally can pop up unexpectedly. I have seen situations where a person that I was not even attracted to in no form or fashion, over the months and years of spending time around each other, this woman became the most attractive woman to me on the planet. And I never, if you would have bet me $50,000 at the time of meeting this lady, that I would end up falling in love with her, I would have bet my right arm. So love is not something we can predict or always choose as far as when and where it's going to happen. Love can spring up at any moment, anytime. But unfortunately, it can leave without warning too.
Yeah, and you know what? And so that goes to our topic. Would you rather be loved or love? And just talking to my girl last night, and she was, made the point. She was like, a lot of people that choose to be loved are the ones that's doing the cheating, that's doing the heartbreak. So what do you think about that? Do you think what do you feel about that? Do you think there's any truth to that, or is it both sides?
Yeah, I think there's some truth to it. There's always some truth to certain things. And I can see that point that she made, because if you automatically, and believe me, people, this was not a trick question to make you feel morally bad. There's no right or wrong answers. Whatever y'all said and feel, that's what you said and feel.
Yes, you want your
honest feedback.
Right.
But if a person does choose to be loved over giving the love, that could possibly show you a selfish personality. So if a person would rather love than be loved, they like, you can love me all you want. I'm not feeling you like that. I'm still going to get with this thick chick over here. I'm still going to get with this. And like I say, to me, I've always described men and their sexual habits as an appetite. It's like pizza can be your favorite food, but a man just don't want pizza every night. So you have to be very focused and in tuned, are truly in love, not to cheat, because I feel like even though this is really not about cheating, it kind of does go down that line, because I feel like if you're being loved and you are not truly loving that person, if they're not fulfilling certain things in you, you might like that full course meal, but sometimes you just might want some fast food, so your girl had a point. The people that choose to be loved, I could see how they could seem more likely to slip out and slide.
Yeah, because, to me, it's like, okay, hey, they might have attachment issues. They may have issues that happen in their childhood to whereas, they don't want to be loved. And, and they might just have they might be a truck driver to whereas, hey, I'm on the road, I'm constantly busy moving, and I choose not to be loved. It's not the fact that, hey, I don't, have the capacity to love. It's just right now is bad timing.
Yeah, absolutely. That's definitely a point. There are many people that choose not to get involved because they know that their career takes them for months at a time, and they know that they can't be there for that person. So that's a real good point.
Yeah, and that's where it gets coupled into a whole lot of perception. And that's why, we want everyone's perspective on this, because like you say, good, bad, or indifferent, that this helps the show, and it helps other people, dealing with, similar issues get beyond what they're thinking, because at the end of the day, it's like, hey, I'm dealing with this person and, oh, they don't want me to love them. What's wrong with them? And it's like, well, hey, they are a cheater. No, it's not that. Maybe they're choosing their career. Maybe they have, a certain guide path for their life.
That's something, whenever I hear something like that, it reminds me of Steve Harvey's book, Think Like a Man, Act Like a Lady. That book was meant for women. Every man should read that book, because something that you just said about career first, until a man has his who, why, and where in order, who he is, how much money he make, where he make it at, something he said. It was simple. If that was the gist of it. Until a man has his who, why, who he is, what his profession is, what he does, and how much he make in order, he cannot truly focus on a relationship if he's really, really building his career. But Steve Harvey, y'all, read that book if you haven't, because he says something like that, and he made me realize something I had never realized in my life. In every relationship I was in, I was half into it. I was thinking, who am I going to be? Am I going to be this artist? Am I going to be this world-renowned trainer? Am I going to be this motivational speaker? Who am I going to be? And how much am I going to make? That consumed me, no matter what woman I was with. And Steve Harvey, y'all, his book hits that point right on the head. But I want to read something from another person, Elizabeth. I tend to leave her out all the time. Eli, what's up? Elizabeth Jules, this is her comment. Eli says, the more you love him, the love eventually will come back. The more, she says she would choose to love over be loved, because she feels like the more you love that man, eventually the love is going to come back from him that you gave him. And then she said, if the roles were reversed, if she was being loved and did not feel the same, she feel like eventually she would start to fall in love with the person because how much they were in love with them. And I can definitely relate to that. So Elizabeth, thank you. Elizabeth Jewel Lutz, that was her comments, and I think they were very, very insightful. Thank you.
Yeah, so wait, so what was that? She said she would rather love and then
she gave
the
both.
Person that you're loving would have the same type of love back.
So check this out. She said if she chose love, she believes the more you love him, that eventually he was going to reciprocate the love back. She feels like if she pours enough love into him, eventually the same love she's pouring into him, he's going to give it back to her. And and then she said, and that was one.
Just pin that. Yeah, that's a really good point because at the end of the day, a lot of guys, a lot of us, we really don't know how to love. And growing up as a kid, I used to see, my family. I grew up with a lot of women, and they'll love each other until this bitch don't do this, don't, and she tried to call cheating on my man, so I was like, wait, is this love? So I'm seeing my aunties fighting, each other, my mother and all of this. I was like, wait, this can't be love, so, like, that's a good point because a lot of people, I'm gonna speak for myself and men, in general, we don't know what love is. And sometimes we don't know what another person's perception of love is because, it's all goes back to that laws of attraction. Just because I don't say I love you 30 times a day doesn't mean I don't love you. So one thing I feel like love is, in order to be loved, you have to be receptive and acceptance to everything. You cannot just say, hey, if you don't tell me I love you 30 times a day, you don't love me. Because I think, love to me is giving. The more you give someone, that shows you love them. It doesn't matter if, you got, shitty draws but like I say, I love your shitty draws, you know what I'm saying? But
I'm sorry about that, y'all. But I did want to say one thing real quick, not to cut you off. No. I want to know what love is. I want you to show me. Oh, okay.
Leave the vocals to me, man. You stick with the calls in the rap. But yeah, so it's hard to say, would you rather to love or be loved? Because if you rather love, you expect heartbreak. And I don't deal well with that. I've always been told like, when I don't show sad, it's either I'm happy or I'm mad. It's, so it's like, it's real difficult to answer that question. Would you rather love or be loved? Because, it's easy to be loved because you don't have to worry about many heartbreaks. But then that makes you into a mean Uncle Scrooge.
Well, yeah, it's two ways to look at that. Because the way I was when I came up with the topic last night, when I was talking to you, I was like, when you choose love, if you would rather love than be loved, for the fellas especially, because we're visual, if you love the way this woman looks, or ladies, if you love the way this man looks, we're going to say person. If you love the way this person looks, smell, their voice, their personality, when they come around you, you just get aroused and lit up. But you can tell that it's not quite reciprocated. But to feel love is so powerful. It makes you feel so alive. But at the same time, it can devastate you when you love somebody so much and everything about them, and they don't reciprocate it back. To love does feel very good, and it feels so powerful. Yes. So I can see people like, I would rather have somebody that light me up when I go home to them, even if they didn't love me the same way, they make me feel good. Or rather than have someone that's loving me to pieces, and I feel like I'm almost doing this out of sympathy, I'm not really into you. Or let's take this out of relationship concept. Mm-hmm. Let's say if it's you an IG model, you a fans only model, whatever, and there's someone that's loving you, and they being creepy with it.
That's lust.
And they been, yes, but it's like Pete, the dude that shot John Lennon. Some people obsess over these celebrities or Instagram models, and they think it's love. Like you say, it's not only lust, it's a little some psycho shit going on too. But love that's unreciprocated, sometimes I've seen this before. I watched the story where this girl tried to be nice to this dude, and she put him in a friend zone. She liked his company because she lived by herself, and sometimes she would not want to be there, but she kept him in a friend zone. He fell in love with her. He wrote her a note, and she was like, oh, it's not like that. He ended up killing her and raping her. And so when I say, would you rather be loved or be loved, I also look at it from a perspective of someone that's obsessed over you. Maybe y'all used to date, and now you don't want nothing to do with them, and they feel like if I can't have you, nobody else will. What about that perspective?
Yeah,
of being loved,
the creative perspective.
Yeah,
and that's
that obsession.
Yes, that's wow, and that's a real thing, you know, especially with social media, because you think you're done with this person, and now they made a fake page, and now they're following you.
Oh, yes, stuff like that happens. Yeah, when I was thinking about that, that really just hit home, because a lot of stuff that I've watched and seen, what if you used to be in love with a person? Y'all done had 2 or 3 kids together. Now you just don't feel them like that. You are truly in love with your new fiance, and you got a man on your hands that he don't want to get with nobody else. You got a girl that she don't want nobody else. She got every dude in America trying to get with her. She love you, but you don't love her no more. You hit that a couple of times, she wasn't your type, and you moved on, and she can't move on. That's a different way to look at would you rather love or be loved people.
That's true. And, you know, just like talking about these, you know, some old couples. I've seen a lot of couples, you know, and like my great-great-grandmother, she loved her husband, stinking draws, but they could not sleep in the same bed. They couldn't even be in the same side of the house. He was on this side and she was on, you know, on the other side.
That happens a lot.
But they loved each other, you know, so it's like, wow, you know, that's why I was just saying, like, it's, you know, it's tough to love. It's hard to love because you have to accept it. It's no clear-cut way to say, hey, how this person is going to love you.
Yeah, and some people need a little space. And some people don't understand that. Certain couples, they love each other. They want the best for each other, but they know, hey, I need my space. I've known couples that after 15, 20 years, they sleep in separate rooms, sleeping like they do their own thing, just, you know, so.
And they need each other, though.
Yeah.
And that's it. It's like, you know, old folks, you know, like, hey, the wife dies, the husband soon goes after, you know.
And vice versa.
Right, exactly. These were the same people. You was like, they were so mean to each other. You know, but they are so connected, you know, so, you know, this love thing, it is difficult. And once you look at it on both perspectives, you know, when you say, hey, would you rather be loved? It's not that this person is just cheating or they've been hurt and, you know, been a part of infidelity. Maybe they had childhood trauma to whereas they don't understand how to love.
And the thing about, from the psychology standpoint, everything that we do and how we express comes from our childhood, good or bad. Whether it was traumatic, whether it was pleasant, whether it was, everything stems from our childhood. So that's another thing. Like, one thing, like me, I've always been a dog. I've always, you know, like, you know, new stuff. Still do, but I use discipline, not on pursue it. And I realized something. My mother, when my father died, my mother was a long way from a hoe. She was nothing like that. But she would have a boyfriend for 2 or 3 years. They would break up. She might be single for a year or two. She would have another boyfriend for 4 years. They would break up. She might be single for a year or two. She'd have a boyfriend for 2 years. Sometimes she might have a boyfriend for a year and a half. So I feel like when a kid is raised with one mother, one father, they're more likely to go seek that road subconsciously, even though mama wasn't out there popping it like, damn, every weekend it's a different dude, like her mother was. Still, throughout our lives, we're looking at like, it's okay to have temporary relationships. We're learning that relationships are temporary anyway. Mama loved James to pieces. Shit, they broke up. Now she really loved Perry. Shit, they broke up. Now I know she loved Mike. Damn, he did it wrong, and now she in love with Greg. So I also feel like, from a childhood experience, if you've had one mother, one father, if you've had a single parent household, I think that would also, I'm pretty sure that also shapes the way you love, receive love, or reject love.
I agree because, you know, just speaking for myself, and I really didn't have my mother and my father in my life. So, and when I did, I went by my pops for the weekend. So I couldn't get attached to him because it was just for the weekend, and same with my mother, So it was, I didn't know what love was. Love was like that. It was just a revolving door. It was weekend, so I chose not to really get attached. So, you definitely understand, that perspective, like, as you say, childhood situations definitely, develop into adult perspectives.
And a lot of people, you hit on something, a lot of people avoid feeling like that for protection, for self-preservation. They don't want to be hurt. They don't want to be betrayed. They don't trust. So they choose not to love. That's a good point.
So as we get ready to wrap things up, so, we just, doing a quick recap, so just want to just highlight, like, hey, just because someone chooses to be loved doesn't mean, they're a cheater. They could have childhood hurt that's lingered into, their current situation. So, it's not always truly an infidelity thing when someone would choose to be loved. And for those that, choose to love, man, I double salute you because it is difficult. But with that, the road traveled less is the road most, difficult. And you can't just choose to love in one way. You can't say, hey, what if this man doesn't pay all my bills, he doesn't love me. You got to accept it, and to love, in my perspective, you have to be forgiving and understanding. But, this is the hot topic. And, this was our hot topic today. Would you rather love or be loved? And before we get ready to get up out of here, you got anything to say?
Let me read one more comment.
Yeah, definitely.
So Javon Noble, that's a hard question, because if you love someone who doesn't love you back, you can be used up and not even notice, and vice versa. But if I had to choose, I would choose to be loved. Mindy Brooks chose to love over be loved. Trinette Contreras, she chose to love over be loved. Just to get everybody in there that commented. And if I missed you, y'all, Rick Garcia also chose to love over be loved. Thank y'all for participating right here at STWF Studios. And I want y'all to think about that. Give us some more feedback. Would you rather love or be loved?
Yes, sir. So this, we definitely, y'all can still light up the chat. Let us know what y'all were thinking. Y'all can join our group STWF Studios because we got the post up. But until next Tuesday at 12, this your dude Uncle Leroy. Don't say the Leroy without the Junior, kicking with my guy Slaughter Dungada.
How to love. One moment you was here and then you was there. How to love. That's the Lil Wayne. I don't know if you know.
Yes, sir. Of course I knew that, Lil Wayne.
No, but the way I be slaughtering anything singing, I was like, you probably thought, is that a cat getting stuck up under a truck? Oh.